July 5th, 2017, Bangkok, Thailand. It's just past 6 a.m., and the air is already thick with heat. Alexandre Cazes is sleeping in his luxury villa. Poolside view, marble floors, the complete package. He's 25 years old, Canadian, and completely unaware of what's about to happen to him. Outside, Thai police move into position with silent precision in tactical gear, having planned this operation for weeks while coordinating with FBI agents half a world away. The warrant's ready, the evidence is solid, and now it's just execution. A vehicle rams through the front gate with a thunderous crash, a calculated FBI strategy to create a loud noise that would startle Cazes and divert his attention from his screen, preventing him from hitting an encrypt hotkey or kill switch. Officers flood the property with boots pounding on marble, shouting in Thai and English. Cazes wakes up disoriented and panicking, and before he can move, he's surrounded with guns drawn, forced to put his hands on his head and get down on the floor immediately. His laptop is still running on the desk nearby, still logged in, with the screen showing an admin panel for a website. Not just any website, but Alphabay, the largest criminal marketplace in history. And they just caught the guy running it, with his entire operation visible on a single glowing screen. The officers searched the villa methodically, discovering a garage full of luxury vehicles worth $500,000, designer watches including 4 Rolexes and 2 Patek Philippe's, mountains of cash, and cryptocurrency wallets worth millions. They knew the value, but they hadn't yet seen the specific proof of his greed. But how did this 25-year-old from Quebec become the world's most powerful darknet kingpin? And why, in exactly 7 days, will he be found dead in a Thai prison cell? Let's rewind. Alexandre Cazes was born on October 19, 1991 in Quebec, Canada, into a normal family with a normal childhood. He was a smart kid who was good with computers, and by his early 20s he'd done some tech work, learned programming, and understood how the internet really worked. Nothing criminal, just another tech-savvy kid in the suburbs with a knack for code. But Cazes had ambition, and he was watching something unfold that fascinated him. The Silk Road, the original darknet marketplace where people bought drugs, fake IDs, hacking tools, anything illegal you could imagine. Created by Ross Ulbricht and shut down by the FBI in October 2013, with Ulbricht getting life in prison, most people saw that takedown as the end, but Cazes saw opportunity. Here's something crucial. Cazes didn't come out of nowhere. He'd been active on carding forums, underground sites for credit card fraud, for years, always using the same handle, Alpha02. When he decided to build his criminal empire, he didn't change his username. Same identity, bigger stage. It was the first sign of the ego and laziness that would eventually destroy him. According to Department of Justice filings, Alphabay went live in late 2014, with pre-launch activity beginning in mid to late 2014 and the site fully operational by year's end. It's basic at first, simple listings, escrow system, Bitcoin payments. But Cazes learned from Silk Road's mistakes with better security, better encryption, and smarter operational security. He used the handle Alpha02 and kept his real identity buried deep, or so he thought. The site grows steadily at first, then faster as vendors migrate over from other struggling markets and buyers follow. By mid-2015, Alphabay is gaining serious traction, and Cazes is making real money, thousands of dollars a week just from commission fees, with Alphabay taking a cut of every transaction. It's brilliant, illegal, and it's working. Cazes moves to Thailand in 2015 for the cheap living, fast internet, and crucially, the lax law enforcement cooperation with Western countries at the time. He rents a villa in Bangkok and starts living the dream, and by 2016, Alphabay is the undisputed king. According to FBI reports, the site had hundreds of thousands of users and facilitated over $1 billion in transactions during its operation, offering heroin, cocaine, stolen credit cards, forged passports, hacking tools, and weapons. If it was illegal, Alphabay had it. The site used Monero and Bitcoin to hide transactions, with escrow protecting buyers and sellers, and reputation systems keeping quality high, creating what amounted to Amazon for criminals. But here's the thing about running the world's largest crime site. You can't help yourself as the ego creeps in, the confidence builds, and eventually you make mistakes.
By early 2017, Alphabay appears untouchable with staggering numbers, some days seeing 40,000 active listings. Estimates vary, but researchers and law enforcement later concluded Alphabay processed hundreds of millions of dollars of trade during its run, by some estimates generating hundreds of thousands to millions in transactions per day. Cazes is living like royalty in Bangkok, with luxury cars, designer watches, expensive properties, and trips to five-star resorts. His Instagram and forum posts showing the private pools, expensive meals, and his vehicles. But here's where his operational security completely fails. He brags about his wealth on the Roosh V pickup artist forum under the username Alpha02, posting videos and photos of his Lamborghini Aventador and Porsche Panamera. Even worse, these forum posts contained metadata and geotagged photos, showing the view from his Bangkok villa's balcony, which the FBI would later match to public property records. But the biggest failure? He keeps a simple, unencrypted text file on his desktop. No password, no hiding. It was titled in all caps, "Total Net Worth." This wasn't just a running tally of his money. It was the complete ledger mapping every cryptocurrency wallet, every property deed, every bank account, even listing seed phrases and private keys for his cold storage wallets that he thought were hidden. He was essentially maintaining a roadmap to his entire criminal empire, completely unencrypted, sitting right there on his desktop. Meanwhile, Alphabay keeps growing with professional features like multi-signature transactions for extra security, Monero integration for better anonymity, forums where vendors and buyers communicate, and dispute resolution for scams. Yet beneath the polished surface, there were problems. In late 2015, several experienced darknet vendors reported a significant exploitable flaw in the site's underlying PHP and MySQL code, a vulnerability that allowed some vendors to see the private message history and transaction details of competing vendors. Cazes dismissed these warnings as exaggerated or scam attempts, showing the supreme arrogance of someone who believed he was technically invincible. Here's how the marketplace worked. Imagine you're a buyer wanting cocaine, so you log into Alphabay through Tor, the anonymity network, and browse listings like you're shopping online with vendor ratings, reviews, and photos. You pick one with a 5-star rating and hundreds of sales, place an order, and pay in Bitcoin, with the money going into escrow, where Alphabay holds it while the vendor ships the product. You receive it and confirm delivery. Alphabay releases the funds, the vendor gets paid, and Alphabay takes 2 to 4%. It was seamless, efficient, and completely anonymous. For vendors, it's paradise, with no street corners, no violence, no sketchy face-to-face deals. Just mail drugs and vacuum-sealed packages and watch the money roll in, with some vendors making 6 figures monthly. But Alphabay wasn't just drugs. It offered stolen data, ransomware kits, forged documents, and weapons, functioning as the underworld's department store. Cazes ran it all from his villa in Bangkok with moderators and administrators, including a figure known as D-Snake, who served as co-founder and security administrator, a whole team keeping the site running smoothly, paid in cryptocurrency. For administrative and moderator communications, Cazes used an internet relay chat server, which was far easier for law enforcement to compromise than a well-configured PGP encrypted Tor message system. Nobody knew his real name, as he was just Alpha02, the ghost king of the darknet. But while Cazes was buying Lamborghinis and bragging on forums, someone else was watching very closely.
September 2016, a DEA agent in Fresno, California sits in a windowless office staring at blockchain transactions, having spent months tracking Alphabay drug sales, connecting Bitcoin wallets, and following the money in tedious work involving thousands of transactions and layers of anonymity. Before Monero was integrated into Alphabay, Cazes was an early user of Bitcoin tumblers, mixing services designed to obfuscate funds. Investigators linked Cazes' personal wallet to a specific pattern of deposits and withdrawals from one of the earliest, most notorious Bitcoin mixing services, and by combining this pattern with the timeline of Alphabay's revenue, they could estimate his income even before they found the smoking gun. The DEA isn't alone. As FBI cyber agents are analyzing server logs, Europol is tracking European vendors, and Homeland Security is intercepting packages, with everyone starting to see the same thing. Alphabay is massive, and taking it down won't be easy. The FBI creates a task force called Operation Bayonet with the goal of finding Alpha 02, shutting down Alphabay, seizing the servers, and arresting everyone involved. But there's a problem. They don't know who Alpha 02 is, since he uses Tor, pays in crypto, and never reveals personal information, making him a ghost. But ghosts make mistakes. Early in Alphabay's history, back in 2014, the system sent automated welcome emails to new users, and if you lost your password, the site would email you. Investigators looked at the metadata headers of those old emails and found the sender address wasn't a cryptic encrypted code, it was a personal Hotmail address, pimp_alex_91@hotmail.com. It was a fatal slip. The 91 matched Cazes' birth year, 1991, and when the FBI ran that address, it didn't lead to a burner account, it linked directly to a legitimate PayPal account and a LinkedIn profile for a tech repairman in Quebec named Alexandre Cazes. With one sloppy Hotmail address from his teenage years, the Ghost King was unmasked. But the FBI's investigation widened. They also gained access to logs from the IRC network Cazes used for administrative communications, providing real-time chat logs of him interacting with his staff using the handle Alpha 02, directly connecting his persona to the site's inner workings. And just like that, they have him, as the FBI pulls Cazes' travel records, showing he flew to Thailand in 2015 and hasn't returned, his financial records revealing cryptocurrency transactions matching Alphabay's revenue patterns, and his Rushvi forum posts showing his luxury lifestyle with geotagged Bangkok photos, with everything lining up perfectly. Then they discover something else. Investigators linked Alphabay's infrastructure to EBX Technologies in Quebec, Canada, a hosting company with direct connections to Cazes, creating another critical operational security failure. But the investigation goes even deeper. Law enforcement had also identified and seized servers in Lithuania, meaning they were watching the site's traffic in real time before they even planned the Bangkok raid. Canadian authorities raid the EBX facilities in Montreal and Trois-Rivières, seizing servers as part of the coordinated international operation spanning the United States, Canada, Thailand, Lithuania, and the Netherlands. But knowing who he is and catching him are different problems, since Cazes is in Thailand, outside U.S. jurisdiction, meaning the FBI can't just fly in and arrest him. They need cooperation from Thai authorities, perfect timing, and they need him caught with evidence that's undeniable. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands, Europol is working on something unprecedented, as they've infiltrated Hansa Market, Alphabay's main competitor. But they're not shutting it down. They're secretly running it. Dutch police had taken control of Hansa about a month before the planned Alphabay takedown, modifying the site's code to capture plain text passwords and photo metadata from users, while deploying beacon files to unmask users' real locations, allowing thousands of illegal transactions to proceed, while gathering evidence on every vendor and buyer in a massive honeypot operation. The plan? Take down Alphabay first, watch everyone migrate to Hansa, then take down Hansa too. 2 birds, 1 stone. By early 2017, the trap is set, as the FBI coordinates with Thai police and Europol preps the Hansa operation, with everyone waiting for the perfect moment. Cazes is lounging by the pool, checking Alphabay's daily revenue on his phone while business is booming, completely unaware that the heat is closing in.
June 2017. The investigation accelerates as the FBI has enough evidence to move, briefing Thai authorities and showing them the financial records, the message trail, the blockchain analysis, and the forum posts, with Thai police agreeing to cooperate since Cazes is a foreigner running a massive crime site from their country. The FBI sends agents to Bangkok to coordinate with Thai police and plan the raid, needing Cazes caught red-handed, logged into Alphabay with his computer running and evidence undeniable. Back in his villa, Cazes is planning a trip to Antigua and Barbuda, having applied for citizenship there under an investment program as a backup plan, while also moving millions into offshore accounts, thinking he's covered every angle. But the FBI has been monitoring his devices remotely for months, knowing his sleep schedule, when he's online, and when he logs into Alphabay's admin panel. They're watching everything. July 4th, 2017. While America celebrates Independence Day, Thai police are finalizing the arrest plan for an early morning raid on July 5th, with FBI agents in Bangkok going over the plan one more time, having trained Thai officers on what to look for, what to seize, and how to preserve digital evidence. At the same time, in the Netherlands, Europol is holding its breath with their agents already inside Hansa's servers, watching the traffic and knowing that the moment Alphabay falls, thousands of panicked users will come running straight into their arms. It's a coordinated international operation spanning multiple agencies, multiple continents, and one target. Cazes goes to bed that night with no idea it's his last night of freedom. According to Thai police reports and U.S. forfeiture filings, he has roughly 700 million Thai baht in total assets, approximately $21 to $23 million at the time, including cryptocurrencies, properties, and vehicles.
July 5th, 2017, 6:17 a.m. The raid team moves in silence, with 15 Thai police officers and 2 FBI agents observing, surrounding the villa with exits covered before the vehicle crashes through the front gate with explosive force. Officers flood in, shouting commands as Cazes jolts awake, confused and terrified, forced to put his hands behind his head and get on the ground immediately. He's in boxer shorts, barely awake, while his Thai wife screams and the officers secure the villa room by room. Then they see it. The laptop on the desk with the screen glowing and the Alphabay admin panel open and active. But it's Cazes' face they watch now as the color drains from his skin when he realizes what the officers are looking at. His entire operation, visible on one screen with multiple servers containing constantly open, unencrypted hot cryptocurrency wallets also discovered. They seize everything: the laptop, 2 phones, external hard drives, USB sticks, the keys to the Lamborghini Aventador, Porsche Panamera, Mini Cooper, and BMW motorcycle sitting in the garage, deeds to properties in Thailand, Antigua, and Cyprus, the luxury watches, and a handwritten notebook containing passwords, wallet addresses, and access codes to cryptocurrency accounts. And there, on the desktop, was the smoking gun investigators had hoped for. That text file Cazes had foolishly updated just days prior: total net worth. It didn't just list his money, it mapped the location of every server, every wallet, every bank account he owned, including the seed phrases and private keys he thought were safely hidden. Cazes sits handcuffed on his marble floor, watching his empire get dismantled in real time as the officers photograph everything and log every item, with the evidence being overwhelming. He's taken into custody and transferred to a detention facility in Bangkok, while the United States files an emergency provisional arrest warrant to start the 90-day countdown for formal extradition through the Eastern District of California, with federal charges including racketeering, narcotics conspiracy, identity theft, money laundering, and operating a continuing criminal enterprise. He's looking at life in prison. His wife, commonly reported as Sunisip Topsuan, is arrested and faces money laundering charges in Thailand. Meanwhile, the FBI pulls the plug as Alphabay's servers go offline, and the site vanishes, with 200,000 users trying to log in and seeing nothing but error messages, as panic spreads across the darknet. And just like that, the world's largest criminal marketplace is gone, seized, dead, with Cazes, the ghost king of the darknet, sitting in a Thai jail cell facing imminent extradition to the United States.
July 12th, 2017, 1 week after the arrest, Alexandre Cazes is found dead in his cell. Thai authorities ruled the death a suicide by hanging, with Cazes having left a note allegedly addressed to his wife, but the contents were never made public. His family called for further investigation, disputing the official finding and emphasizing that he was actively speaking with lawyers and coordinating his defense right up until his death, claiming he wasn't suicidal and was looking forward to fighting extradition. But the official ruling stands in public record, though questions remain in public discussion. Thai authorities reported seizing roughly 700 million baht, about $21 to $23 million at the time, in vehicles, property, and cryptocurrency, with U.S. forfeiture filings later documenting additional exchange wallets and accounts tied to Cazes, detailing specific cryptocurrency holdings including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, and Zcash.
Much of the seized cryptocurrency was immediately sold by the US government to prevent price volatility, though the fate of the Monero was far more complicated due to its superior untraceability, making the missing crypto question even more compelling. The ongoing question over the missing, untraceable crypto fueled the rumors that his death was not suicide, that someone else had either forced him to give up the keys, or that someone close to the organization was able to recover the cold wallets after his death. The physical assets were liquidated, with the luxury vehicles auctioned, the villas sold, and the Bitcoin converted, all of it gone. Sunisa Thapsarvan was later acquitted by a Thai court in 2020, with the court ruling there wasn't enough evidence she knew the source of the funds. But here's where it gets interesting. Alphabay didn't die with Cazes, as in August 2021, 4 years after the takedown, the self-described co-founder D-Snake relaunched Alphabay with new security features and decentralized infrastructure. For a while, vendors returned and buyers followed, as the ghost of Alphabay rose from the dead. But then, in early February 2023, Alphabay went into a lockdown that many users realized was an exit scam, taking the money and running, with D-Snake having never been publicly arrested and remaining at large. What we do know, the takedown of Alphabay had an immediate impact, but it was a trap. As predicted, thousands of panicked refugees fled straight to Hansa Market, but instead of safety, they found Europol waiting for them. Alphabay was shuttered on July 5th, 2017, but Hansa wasn't taken down until July 20th, 2017, a deliberate 2-week window allowing maximum migration and data collection. During this time, Dutch police collected plain text passwords from users who reused credentials and IP addresses of buyers who logged in without using Tor, with the operation allowing over 27,000 transactions while gathering evidence. The Dutch police simply collected the data, waited for the migration to peak, and then snapped the trap shut, leading to thousands of arrests across Europe and generating massive amounts of intelligence on darknet users and vendors. Then Hansa went dark too, so users moved to Dream Market, then Wall Street Market, then Empire Market, then White House Market, with some Alphabay administrators and moderators later prosecuted by the Department of Justice, several receiving significant prison sentences, while others evaded capture entirely. It's a cycle, where one market falls and 3 more pop up. According to Chainalysis, darknet market revenue dipped significantly in 2022 following major enforcement actions, but rebounded to an estimated $1.7 billion in 2023. As the infrastructure evolved, markets became more secure, vendors got smarter, and while law enforcement adapted, so did the criminals. Here's what we still don't know. What about the missing cryptocurrency? The FBI seized millions, but Cazes allegedly had access to far more with cold wallets hidden in encrypted files and passwords no one else knew, with some estimating he had $20 million or more stashed in untraceable accounts. If that's true, where is it now? Lost forever, or did someone else have access? The German Federal Criminal Police Office now tracks over 50 active darknet markets, with every takedown being a temporary victory as the infrastructure adapts and new markets use better encryption, decentralized hosting, and multi-signature escrow, with some accepting only Monero now, which is nearly untraceable. Cazes built Alphabay when he was barely out of his teens, made millions, lived like royalty, and died in a cell at 25, with his site having facilitated hundreds of millions in drug sales, identity theft, and fraud. People died from overdoses on drugs bought through his platform. Families were destroyed and lives were ruined. The villa's been sold, the cars are gone, and the cryptocurrency seized, but the darknet is still operating. Alexandre Cazes proved you can build a criminal empire from a laptop, but he also proved you can't escape forever. One mistake, one email address from his teenage years, one unencrypted file, one forum brag, and it all comes crashing down. The question isn't whether the next Alphabay will appear, but whether law enforcement will catch the person running it before they make the same mistakes, or if they'll be smarter, more careful, and more dangerous. And that's the sobering reality. The cycle continues, and we probably won't know until the next major takedown.